the labyrinth of human relationships, there exists a fundamental truth that separates fleeting desire from lasting connection, the power to evoke fear, not in the shallow sense of intimidation or control, but the profound, primal fear of losing someone irreplaceable. Women, like all human beings wired by evolution and psychology, are drawn not just to those who attract, but to those whose absence would create an unbearable void. This fear is a silent yet potent force that solidifies bonds, deepens respect, and commands enduring loyalty. To instill this fear, you must transcend superficial charm and become a man of undeniable value, emotional mastery, and unwavering psychological sovereignty. This is where Machiavellian insight reveals itself, not as manipulation but as mastery over the intricate dance of human desire and connection. The 5 Machiavellian truths you embody will transform you from someone who is merely wanted to someone who is deeply, viscerally feared to lose. The first and most foundational truth is the cultivation of unshakable self-worth. This self-worth is not built on external validation or transient successes but on a deep internal foundation forged through self-discipline, integrity, and relentless commitment to your own standards. Women sense this self-worth instinctively. It radiates in your posture, in your tone, in the quiet assurance that you carry through every interaction. When you value yourself unequivocally, you emit an aura of certainty that triggers a primal alarm in those around you. They realize that losing you would mean losing a fortress of stability and strength, someone whose place in the emotional landscape is not easily filled. This kind of self-worth is magnetic because it is rare. Most men are adrift, searching for approval or drowning in self-doubt. The Machiavellian man's self-worth acts as an invisible anchor, compelling others to hold him close lest they lose the grounding he provides. Closely intertwined with self-worth is the mastery of emotional indispensability. Emotional indispensability does not mean being overly available or reactive. Rather, it is the art of embodying emotional stability that becomes a sanctuary in the storm. The Machiavellian man understands that women, often navigating their own emotional complexities, seek a reliable harbor, a presence that soothes without smothering, reassures without controlling. This emotional steadiness creates a powerful psychological attachment because it addresses an ancient evolutionary need for safety and predictability. Women fear losing someone who offers this calm refuge because it mitigates deep-seated anxieties and provides a rare sense of security in a chaotic world. Achieving this balance demands mastery over your own emotional state, resisting the impulses of neediness, maintaining calm during turbulence, and communicating care through actions rather than overblown declarations. Emotional indispensability is subtle yet profound, and its absence is often only fully realized once it is gone. The third truth reveals the potency of psychological scarcity, crafted through deliberate absence and unwavering boundaries. In a culture that often equates constant availability with affection, scarcity is a revolutionary act of self-respect and strategic power. When you guard your time, space, and attention, you create a psychological environment where your presence becomes a coveted prize rather than a given. This scarcity activates the brain's reward systems. When something is rare and uncertain, its value skyrockets in the mind's appraisal. Women begin to fear losing you because they recognize that your absence is not accidental but an intentional boundary that commands respect. Setting these boundaries is not about withdrawal or punishment but about preserving your energy for what truly matters. It communicates that you lead a purposeful life, one not dominated by the whims of others, and that your engagement is a gift, not an obligation. This strategic use of scarcity sharpens desire and deepens emotional investment, transforming attraction into attachment. Mastering your narrative and frame is the fourth Machiavellian truth, a psychological armor that shapes how others perceive you and how you navigate the world. Your frame is your internal reality. It is the story you tell yourself and the lens through which you interpret events. When you own this frame fully, you project unshakable confidence and leadership that others find magnetic. Women fear losing a man who controls his narrative because it means losing the anchor of stability and clarity in their lives. The Machiavellian man does not allow external opinions, rejections, or challenges to unmoor his frame. Instead, he integrates adversity into a coherent worldview, remaining composed and authoritative. This mastery over narrative shapes not only how others see you but also how you influence your own emotional state. It creates a feedback loop of strength that sustains your presence and deepens attraction. Finally, the fifth truth embodies the principle of action over words, a philosophy that elevates substance above superficial promises. In a world awash with empty declarations and fleeting intentions, consistent, deliberate actions build a monument of trust and dependability. The Machiavellian man knows that words alone are cheap currency and that true influence comes from living your values visibly and consistently. This presence, rooted in integrity, decisiveness, and follow-through, creates a psychological bedrock that women come to rely on and fear losing. It is not about grand gestures or dramatic displays but about steady, reliable demonstration of your commitment, boundaries, and purpose. Through action, you become a tangible force in the lives of others, someone whose absence creates a gap no mere words could fill. This kind of presence inspires deep respect and loyalty, transforming attraction into a bond forged by shared reality. When you embody these 5 Machiavellian truths, unshakable self-worth, emotional indispensability, psychological scarcity, narrative mastery, and action over words, you forge a psychological fortress of value and presence. Women do not merely desire you, they fear losing you because you represent something rare, vital, and irreplaceable. This fear is not born of manipulation or coercion but of genuine respect, deep emotional investment, and recognition of your unique role in their world. It is the ultimate expression of Machiavellian mastery in relationships, the ability to command not just attention but enduring loyalty and reverence. To think like this, to live like this, is to move beyond transient attraction into the realm of psychological sovereignty. It is the path to becoming a man whose presence is a source of security, desire, and inevitable longing. It is the secret to being feared, cherished, and pursued in equal measure. This is not simply a strategy, it is a way of being. It is Machiavellian mastery.